Welcome back to a brand new video, guys. It is launch day of F1 24, and to celebrate, we're going to do a 100% race around the Monaco Grand Prix, last to first challenge, 110 AI, driving as Lando Norris. Let's get into it. It could be the best video of the year. Let's see if we can win the race.
It's Monte Carlo with history, glamour, and a uniquely tight and claustrophobic challenge. One that over the course of a lap sees us tour an entire country. Welcome along to the Monaco Grand Prix.
If we don't want to be stuck near the back for most of the race, you're going to need to push early on. Good luck.
We are going to need to push indeed. Thank you guys for joining me on this video today. I really appreciate the support. If you guys want to see more from me, please leave a like and subscribe. You don't want to miss any of my F1 24 videos. I've also uploaded a career mode video from earlier today, so make sure you go check that out. First episode of the new journey, and yeah, the driver career is looking pretty good this year. But anyway, back to this challenge. We're going to go from last to first. It looks like a two-stop is quicker around this track, so we're going to have to do a lot of overtaking to get towards the front today. So I'm very excited to get started. It's worth mentioning, I filmed this about a week ago, so this was filmed before the actual real-life Monaco Grand Prix, and there's actually a few similarities to what happened in real life. You'd almost be believed into thinking that this video was inspired from that race, but maybe real life was inspired from this video. Two-stop strategy is on the cards. We're going to start on the medium compound tire, and we do have the option, like in career mode, to switch to a one-stop if we want to do so. But yeah, we'll see how we get on in the opening laps. I think there will be safety cars. There will be drama. We'll just have to get through the first lap in one piece. Here we go, 5 red lights, and we are underway for the Monaco Grand Prix. Last place on the grid, and it looks like a pretty good start. Gaining a few positions on the AI before we even get to the braking zone of turn 1. Up in a P14 as we go around the outside of Pierre Gasly. What an amazing start that is. Soft compound tires, so we have switched up the strategy. I thought about doing mediums, but no, we're doing softs because we want to go for the undercut as soon as these tires start to die off. So that's what we're going to do. We're not afraid of giving up track position, but we're not afraid of gaining it either. We're not afraid to risk it for the chocolate biscuit around here. Round the outside of Valtteri Bottas. Tried to go round the outside of the Williams, but he's side by side with Charles Leclerc, so we'll have to settle in behind for now. Standard damage, 110 AI, no assists, and that is a mistake for Alexander Albon. As you can see, he's getting overtaken by Leclerc round the outside as we round through the tunnel for the first time. We're going to try and go up the inside of the Williams. We can't get the Ferrari at the same time. Oh, Leclerc's hit the wall. Not once, but twice. Leclerc's out of the Grand Prix. We have a, oh my word, a safety car on the opening lap. No, it's a red flag. The race is red flagged right from the start of this Monaco Grand Prix. So just like real life, we have a red flag early on, and the race has been turned on its head. That is crazy. So red flag, just like in real life on lap 1, the AI will probably go to hard compound tires. We'll have to wait and see here. But this completely throws a strategy out the window. Hards to the end is the default strategy. So that's what the AI is going to do, unless there were AI drivers who started on hards, in which case they'll kind of be screwed. But I don't fancy doing an entire race on one set of tires. I don't think I'll be able to look after them that well. I think the AI are much better at looking after tires than what I am. So we're going to go aggressive. It looks like the two-stop is quicker, but at Monaco, track position is everything. So with that said, we're going to go for it. We're going to go mediums. We will have a pace advantage now on the AI, given that we are on mediums. But we have to get through the pack, just like before. So we're going to restart this race now. We've got a 10-second penalty for contact with Leclerc. We had nowhere to go, but 5 red lights, and we're underway for the restart. Number 2 here, getting boxed in by my fellow countryman, Daniel Ricciardo. Heading into turn 1, bit of contact with Nico Hülkenberg. Thankfully got away with that. Standard damage, by the way. But yeah, we can afford to have a few little scrapes and scratches with other cars and the walls, but you don't want to push your luck too much. Round the outside, we go on Ricciardo. That turns to the inside for the right-hander, and that is us up in a P16. We really got shafted by that red flag, I've got to say. I was looking forward to an early undercut, but that's now not going to happen. We're going to have to run pretty long in this race on the medium compound tyre. Round the outside at the hairpin. We're okay. We survive. One thing that's changed with the handling model with Magnussen contact inside wall. The AI are making mistakes. The AI are certainly prone to mistakes this year, and we love to see it. We're going to go up the inside of Magnussen into the Nouvelle chicane, and he actually cuts the corner to avoid contact. That's exactly what you see in real life as well. So the AI have a little bit more of a human feel to them. Mistakes, imperfect driving, driving off the racing line, off the track sometimes to cooperate with overtakes to make them work, which is very interesting. So well done, Cody's, on that. I'll give you that. The handling model might be a bit of a joke at the moment, but there is a patch coming. We don't know when, but the handling will be improved further down the line. I'll update you guys on that when I can. Maybe follow me on Twitter. And, oh my words, I'll update you on that. But we got an update on one of the Alpines. They are in the barrier. That is another mistake. This time, Pierre Gasly. And that could be a safety car. We'll have to get confirmation from the FIA. You can see the front right end plate has fallen off. Bit of debris left behind. But we carry on with this race. No safety car deployed at this stage. I do believe I put red flags on increased. Safety cars are also on increased. Not that they need higher chances, but, you know, you got to be extra cautious around Monaco. The barriers are nice and close. And, yeah, there's very little margin for error. To be honest, whenever there is incidents at Monaco, it usually does result in a safety car. Tyre wear, 4% on the front, 6% on the rear. Tyre wear is heavily influenced by the way you drive now. Keeping the tyres nice and cool is imperative. Also, not wheel spinning, sliding. That's going to accelerate the tyre wear much higher than just driving normally. As we go up the inside of Ocon, that's a nice move at the hairpin. A move that is now possible on F1 24. So going back to the handling, although I don't like the handling with how sensitive the front end is, I feel like it's a little bit arcadey. What they have also done is made the steering lock a little bit higher. So it's more than 360 degrees now, meaning through corners like the hairpin here, you can go up the inside and get round the corner side by side. So you've actually got more turn in there, and it makes overtakes there possible. Whereas on every other F1 game before this, it was impossible to go side by side through there. If you did, the car on the... well, it was guaranteed that someone was going to end up in the barrier. Now, those overtakes are possible. So that is one positive to the handling at its current state. But lap 12 settling into this race now. You can see we've still got that 10-second penalty. That is really going to shaft us if there's green flag running from here on out to the end of the Grand Prix. Looking for a move up the inside of Bottas. No, that's Guan Yu Zhou. And into the top 10. In the top 10 and in the points for the first time in this race. And we're looking to crack on as best we can. 11% tyre wear so far. Actually not too bad, but things like that massive slide, that drift out of turn 1 is not going to help things. But running brake bias that's very rearward, you can get away with low brake bias now, but at the cost of, well, doing that. So let's avoid doing that if we can. Engine temperatures also get affected pretty heavily by the way that you drive. If you rev out the engine, if you're caught in the dirty air of cars ahead, if there's no cool air going to the engine, then it very much overheats very easily. So that is also something worth noting. Battery is also very different for F1 24. You can burn through that super quickly, but also if you turn the battery off, you can recover very quickly up the inside of, I think that's Alexander Albon. Yes, it is. P9 and into the mix with the front runners. There's very quick cars only ahead of us now. The McLarens, the Aston Martins, my teammate, of course, the Red Bulls, the Ferraris. Things are just going to get that little bit more difficult as we progress our way through the order. So we've got a bit of an air gap now to our teammate, 4.5 seconds. This is our first chance to really see what our pace is like in clear air. Tyres, you know, are getting on a little bit. They're not completely worn. I don't really... oh, no, that's a mistake. A massive mistake for us at Mirabeau. The rear bias has really caught us out there, over-rotated the car. Safety car has been deployed. And a massive back end loss as we tried to get going with the rear tyres cooling down a little bit there. But yeah, silly mistake from me trying to get to grips with this handling model. I've only had a few hours on the game. That, you know, this is... I don't know when you're watching this in 2024, 2025. I don't know. But this is the launch day of F1 24. And yeah, I'm still very new to how to get the most out of this game, how to be consistent. And that was just an honest mistake from me there, which has resulted in a very timely safety car for us. There was a big margin to the cars ahead, and now we're going to be able to close out that margin for free with a free pit stop. You can see Sainz and Perez made a pit stop, but the rest of the leaders didn't box. So we're going to have a massive pace advantage on those guys. They don't want to give up their track position, but I'm willing to risk it for a chocolate biscuit. I need to get rid of my penalty, and we have. It was a 10-second stop-go, but it only served 5 seconds. We only stayed stationary for 5 seconds. That is a glitch in the game currently, which will, I'm sure, be fixed fairly soon. Safety car deployed. Alonso leads the pack from Russell, Verstappen, Hamilton. Unfortunately, Guan Yu Zhou didn't box and clear his 10-second penalty, the contact with me under that lap 1 red flag. But yeah, he's set for a very tough race from here on out. So this is going to be very interesting. We saw in real life, everyone could stretch their hard to the end with a bit of tire management. Can the AI do the same? Given the fact that they didn't box under a free safety car means that they want to stay in the lead. They want to protect their track position, and they're confident in their strategy that they can get to the end and maintain their track position. So this is going to be really interesting. We now have a significant tire advantage over the race leaders. We've gone to our second set of mediums. Safety car restart is happening right now. Alonso's already at turn 1, and we haven't even gone through the final corner yet. Away we go for the green flag for the restart of this race. Restart number 3, and back down to P15 with hard runners all around us. So we should have the pace now on, well, everyone. Even though this is 110 AI, you know, I was struggling in the early stages. The race leaders were quicker than me. If the safety car didn't come out, I was probably not going to catch them. But now the field has been bunched up again, and we are now the cat amongst the pigeons as we go for a dive there on Albon up the insides. Not for the first time this race. We get past him, as we see on the replay, heading into the Nouvelle chicane. You can really go late under brakes, and the AI will cooperate. They'll cut the chicane, but they are not allowed to keep the position because we were ahead at the apex, as you can see there. Nice move. It's so hard to go side by side through there. There has to be an element of cooperation from, I guess, both parties to make sure that there's no contact made. That's a clean, that's a fair pass. Very traditional overtake in Monaco, and we take that. Up the inside of Tsunoda, thank you very much. P12. These overtakes coming thick and fast for us now as we've got the advantage through the corners. Massively, we can out-traction the AI. Definitely. There's more grip in F1 24, and we're making the most of it. So, yeah, I'd say it's actually more...
Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place.
Thank you very much. I'd say it's actually more of an equal footing with the AI. In the past, AI are OP on traction zones, but now we can hold a candle to them on equal tires. Certainly with better tires like we have now. And with the high wings that we're running, I think we're running 50 wings, or 50-45 wings, somewhere in that region. It just means we can go so quick through the corners. It's absolutely outrageous. Getting up the inside of Sainz there in the Ferrari, that just shouldn't be possible, but we make it work. He's caught behind the Sauber, doesn't get the best exit, and we just arrive on the scene at the apex. He has no choice but to leave the space, and we go up the inside. A bit of a brash move, but one that was needed, given that our tyres will die off quicker than those on the hards. Yeah, a lot of cooperation required from Sainz there to let us through. But we got the job done, and yeah, this Monaco race is really coming alive, isn't it? Somehow able to fight through the pack. We're actually able to overtake at Monaco, and I'm absolutely here for it. Up the inside of Guan Yu Zhou, we know he's got older tyres, so he doesn't really have much of a chance against us. Round the outsides, slight contact, but there's nothing malicious in that. It's just a case of just really hard to get through there side by side. Ricardo next. He also has old tyres, old hard compound tyres. He defends the inside. We try to switch back to the outside, and this is a closing gap, so we have to back out of that. Well defended from Ricardo, it must be said. We'll bide our time for now. Maybe got the inside into the Nouvelle chicane, or maybe even my iconic Rascasse move. We've not done a move at Rascasse so far on F1 24. Who's going to be our first victim? Up into overtake. Massive straight line speed advantage up the inside, and the gap is not there. I didn't want to force myself in there too much. We get the exit on the traction though. New tyres versus old, and that is us up into P8 in this Grand Prix. Absolutely flying at this stage of the race, and now, just like before the safety car, we find ourselves 4 seconds behind the race leaders, but this time with a significant tyre advantage. They're still on the hards that they put on lap 1. So here we go. This is the margin. You can see the air gap is closing from Perez to myself. Thankfully, for Perez's sake, he's actually qualified well today and is looking good for some points. Purple so far on this lap. This is our first flying lap in clear air where there hasn't been a safety car, and we are making the most of it on these medium compound tyres, burning all the battery up to the line. That's a 1 minute 10.9, and absolutely flying relative to the AI. I'd say we're about a second, maybe 2 seconds lap quicker than them at this stage, but that pace is not sustainable. We can't burn battery like this every single lap. It's just, like I said, not sustainable. So after catching up to the back of the queue, we've saved battery for a lap or two, and now we're ready for a charge again. 50% battery, getting close to Perez as we round Casino Square. We're very quick here relative to the AI. The change of direction is very good on new tyres. Up the insides, and that is a Red Bull dispatched in this Monaco Grand Prix. If we can pass a Red Bull, we can pass anyone. That is massive for our race, massive for the confidence, and it's just going to spur us on to keep going. You never know when a safety car might come out. If a safety car comes out, the race is effectively leveled out again and gives everyone the opportunity to box for new tyres. Up the inside of our teammate, that was not team orders. He left the space, but we had to work for that one as we go around the outside at the hairpin and into P6. Stroll is next, and somehow he's got himself ahead of Piastri. So, lovely stuff. We are on a charge. Hopefully, the tyres can stay intact. It's a case of like making the tyres work while they're new. Once the tyres wear down a bit, relative to the AI, I think we'll lose our advantage, and then it'll become a bit tougher to really do anything. But for the time being, we're pushing on as hard as we can, because you never know when this advantage might dissipate as we go up the inside of Stroll. P5 now. Hello. 50 laps remaining. 53 laps to be exact. And now we really are chasing after the big boys. That's our first warning of the race. We're running strict corner cutting rules, and proof that we are human after all. Running through the high-speed S's into the swimming pool section. Final chicane, you can really fly over those curves. Even with strict corner cutting, it is pretty forgiving. It has to be a little bit forgiving because the walls are so tight and the track is so narrow. You need to be able to find some space to be creative around this circuit. Prix Casino Square, again, so much grip compared to the AI. Even in the dirty air, up the inside into Mirabeau, and that is job done. P4 for Lando Norris. Took me a while to get Lewis Hamilton, but we finally got him, and now the top 3 are only just up the road. This is Max Verstappen now in P3, not having a great race, just like he did in real life. Stuck behind, I think that's George Russell in P2, and Fernando Alonso in the Aston Martin with a massive lead compared to George Russell. So Alonso is flying. He's very happy in that Aston Martin. I think Aston Martin is very good through slow speed corners, and they're making the most of it today. Up the inside of Verstappen, of all drivers, into Raskas, and that is us now on the podium in this Monaco Grand Prix. Here's the replay, straight up the inside. Verstappen caught behind George Russell, and we absolutely sent it with every bit of grip and traction we had in that McLaren. Fresh medium tyres relative to these guys. I mounted the final chicane curb so much, which set up everything for that Raskas move. And thankfully, no contact. What a race we are having so far in this Monaco Grand Prix, and we've only just gone past halfway in this race. Tyres looking okay, 23%. We'll get to about 50% by the end of the race, depending on how we drive. Tyre wear is heavily affected by the way that you drive, by tyre temperatures, nearly contact there with Verstappen, but also tyre pressures. There's so many factors that come into it now, as we got a yellow flag through the old to-back corner, and that is Alexander Albon. That could be a safety car in this race, which could turn this race upside down once again. It could bring Alonso into our clutches, or try and go for the overtake on Russell ASAP, because there could be a safety car literally right now as we go up the inside of Albon, leaves the space, We didn't go the inside of Albon. It was Russell. Round the outside. The move is not done yet. Russell is still hanging on really well here with his hard compound tyres. We got the inside into these double right-handers, into Portier. The inside is not the best place to be for laying down traction, but we have the newer tyres, and that is all that matters. P2 at Monaco. No safety car. So this is now going to be a 34-lap sprint to the end. A 30-lap sprint to the end. Myself versus Fernando Alonso. How are those hard compound tyres going to hold out? This is a battle of the compounds now. This is a battle of strategy, of consistency, of mental toughness. And Alonso is as tough as it gets when it comes to running at the front of the field and getting the most out of a race car. So this is not going to be easy. We are closing by about a second a lap at this stage, but our tyres are dying off quicker than Alonso's are. Despite him having 20-lap older hard compound tyres, it is still not easy. We've caught up to him, but I genuinely am losing tyre performance. Our margin, our advantage over the AI is diminishing every lap. And I will say, as soon as I caught up to Alonso here, I kind of arrived with nothing left on the tyres. Second warning of the Grand Prix now. One more warning and we get a 3-second time penalty on strict corner cutting. But at this point now, there's nothing I can really do. I'm not as quick as what I once was in those, huge advantage areas, like through this Nouvelle chicane. I'm very quick through there. That's actually a mistake. I hit the wall with the left-hand rear tyre. Here's the replay. That is contact. You can see the deviation of the way the car moved through there. And once again, we get away with that one. I'm also really good through turn 1, but you can see we're sliding. The rear tyres are going off. I'm also really good through Tabac. And also Casino Square is probably my strongest corner on the entire calendar. On the entire lap. But as we go through here now, previously we'd be all over drivers with literally no margin to the car ahead, and we'd be close enough to dive bomb into Mirabeau, but we just don't have that tyre performance anymore. So we're really struggling to extract anything out of this. I think we probably need to box now. I can't believe it. We've got 20-lap newer mediums, but we just don't have the tyres. We've been pushing them too hard, trying to get through the pack, and then we arrive at the front of the field, and we've arrived with nothing. So we need to box, and I think we're going to do that now. We're going to pull the trigger with 20 laps remaining in this Grand Prix. 50% tyre wear. I don't actually think we were going to finish the race with all of our tyres intact on those mediums. We had to box, and we're going to come at it again with Alonso. Surely his tyres are going to fall off the cliff in the next 10 laps or so. So, yeah, we're getting the undercut on Alonso. All we need is one good outlap, much like Lewis Hamilton needed versus Verstappen in real life. He didn't get that, but we are going to protect ourselves against the overcut from Fernando Alonso. That could be a disaster for us. That's George Russell going up the escape road of Mirabeau into the wall. I don't think there's damage. I think he's okay. So we should be able to carry on under green flag running. No safety car. And we are pretty much as we were before, but just one position higher up. That is actually really handy for us. That's one less person to overtake. One less thing to stress about in this Grand Prix. We are still trying to undercut Alonso. I think we are within his pit window now, so even if he does box, he will rejoin behind us. But will the AI stay out for the rest of this Grand Prix? We are flying on these new tyres. This is my first flying lap on the soft compound tyres, and I think we're like 2 seconds up on our previous best lap. But we're getting held up by Lewis Hamilton heading into the final couple of corners, up the inside into Raskas, and that is a lot easier to do now with the tyres that we have. New sauce versus 60-lap old hards. It's just not even fair compared to those guys around us. We're catching Alonso. I hope he's sitting down for this. By 4 seconds a lap. We are 4 seconds a lap faster than Alonso on the last lap. That is absolute insanity. But our soft tyres still need to make it to the end of the race. I don't know how long these tyres will last for relative to the AI, so this is going to be really tricky. Verstappen up next. Very close into turn 1. We'll burn the battery going up the hill. We might be able to go up the inside, heading into the Casino Square. Up the inside, he leaves the space. And the tyre grip is just insane relative to him. P2 now, with a gap of 11 seconds to catch Alonso. 16 laps to do so. If we keep catching him by 4 seconds a lap, then it's just not going to be fair for Alonso. But our tyres will die off way quicker than the hards will. I think we'll start. The margin will probably be closer to 2 seconds a lap and 1 second a lap, and maybe even by the end, the tyres might have crossed over with the hards again, and we might actually be slower than the likes of the AI behind us or around us. I don't really know, but this is a good push lap for us. This is the lap that we still overtook Verstappen on. So it wasn't a completely clear lap in free air. We never got that. This is our first proper clear lap in free air, but the tyres have now seen their best at this point. We've got an issue for one of the Mercedes. I actually thought it was a puncture at first, but it's actually an engine failure. Lewis Hamilton out of the Grand Prix. We've seen many mistakes from the AI so far. Engine failures, we've got 2 of them. We've seen mistakes, people crashing. It's really humanized the AI, and I really love to see it. Fernando Alonso, yes, confirmation. He's on the hards. Still, that he pretty much started the Grand Prix on, and he's doing his best to get to the end with a consistent race pace. That is big old smoke screen for Lance Stroll in the other Aston Martin, trying to hold down a top 4 at this stage. You never know. There could be more reliability issues for the AI. They are really pushing the limits of their engines at this point, and we are pushing the limits of the tyres. Look at that lock up into the last corner. It's very easy to lock up on F1 24, even with brake bias wound back fully to the rear. It's absolutely crazy. A little tip for you guys: lower the brake pressure down from 100%. I think you've got to put it down to 97 or 95% to stop those lockups from happening. But there we go. You can see the gap to Fernando Alonso. It is literally nothing at this stage, and we are setting up the pass to get past him. You can see we've charged up our battery, we put it in none, and we are ready to overtake him on this lap with a bit of hot lap and a bit of overtake. We're literally pushing him through the slow speed corners, heading into Portier. We're going to overtake him. No, he's made a major mistake, and Alonso is, well, out of the running for the win in this Monaco Grand Prix. An unforced error, and he is out of the running in this race. Here's the replay. Just too much wheel spin on the exit of Portier. Bearing in mind, he's been on these tyres for 70 laps. Asked a little bit too much. He knew that was a crucial traction zone, and that has cost him dearly in this race. Replays again. Look at my locking up. It's crazy. But, yeah, I was harsh on the front axle. The AI harsh on the rear axle. Look, you can only push these hard compound tyres so far. Alonso was under supreme pressure to stay ahead. The move was happening at the end of that straight, whether he liked it or not, and he knew it. So, yeah, he pushed the issue as hard as he could with those tyres. They couldn't cope. I don't want to know what the wear levels were on those hards, but that has resulted in Alonso being out of the running in this one. Fuel now is in the green. We did underfuel by a couple of laps, and yeah, that has relieved the pressure for us massively. Because if we go back to 20 laps ago, I wanted to overtake Alonso on my old mediums and then park the bus for the rest of the Grand Prix because I needed to save fuel. The last thing I wanted to do was box for new soft compound tyres and push every lap to try and catch up because I needed to save fuel. But now that buys us the safety to now just lift and coast a lot and make sure we get to the end. Also look after the tyre temperatures, the engine temperatures. No risk of hopefully an engine failure. I think faults are on in this race, and that is a 3-second time penalty. But we're getting towards the end of this race now. We'd be supremely unlucky to get hit with an engine failure at this point. Last lap of the Grand Prix, we got a 10-second margin to Max Verstappen, who again has got super old hard compound tyres. Alonso will still get on the podium at this stage, but tyres, you can see they're 34%. If I had to guess, I think tyre wear starts getting pretty nasty after 40%. After that useful life is kind of over. But there we go. That has been the Monaco Grand Prix. Lando Norris goes from last to first. Red flags, engine failures, crashes, many overtakes, extra stops, and a 110 AI. We are going to defeat everyone at Monaco.
Lando Norris, take a bow. At last, a winner in Formula 1.
You always look back at a race like this and think, if I'd just made that mistake there or locked up here, there would have been contact. And every one of those overtakes is a moment where you have to absolutely nail it, perfect it, and that's exactly what they were able to do today. Great stuff indeed.
Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance.
Oh my words. It is a win at Monaco. I do love this track. It is my favorite track on the calendar, and we made it work. Unfortunately, with the red flag, it cut away instantly after crossing the line, so we didn't get the reaction of Lando Norris's radio after the race, which is a new feature with F1 24, but That's a shame. We still win the Grand Prix, though. We still had an amazing time out there. 110 AI, no assists, as hard as it gets, really, on this game. And we absolutely smashed it. Honestly, at the start, we didn't really have the pace compared to the AI. On level tires, I think we were maybe P5 at best on raw pace. But then the new tires, the strategy advantage versus the AI, that's what really won us the race. And by the way, we're running realistic performance. So this is not equal cars. This is realistic performance. So I was in the 2024 performance of the McLaren, which I think at this stage is the 4th best car. So I really had to dig deep to beat the AI there. And the extra tires basically bridged the gap. That did all the work for us pace-wise. We still had to keep it out of the barriers, still had to be very consistent, and I was very happy to get there in the end. Thank you guys so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed that video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more racing game content. Hopefully you enjoyed Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you want to see more videos like this, maybe more 100% gameplay videos, let me know down in the comments of what track we could do next, what car you want me to see me in. Let me know, and I'll definitely take that on board. I've also got a driver career mode on the go. That's also been uploaded to the channel earlier today, so make sure you check that out. But yeah, crazy race, crazy video, crazy mistakes from the AI, and that is an element that I'm looking forward to seeing more the more we play F1 24. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until the next one, I'll see you next time.
I am stupid. I switch off everything.